Hey everybody, this is Lord Magicus, and this week our content is going to be a little bit different. So we've never done this in this channel before, but I am very excited to announce we are going to be playing Penny Dreadful Merfolk. So first of all, what the hell is Penny Dreadful? Alright, well, Penny Dreadful is a format. Let me open the browser here. Oops, 1 second. Penny Dreadful is a format on MTGO where every card in your deck has to cost 2 ticks, or 0.02 ticks or less, so basically 2 cents. There we go. So yeah, ultra budget, thousands of cards. Yeah, so the website here is pennydreadfulmagic.com. You play it on MTGO. It will tell you everything you need to know. There's a full list of cards here, and you can also go to Scryfall. This is what I normally do if I'm looking for cards in this format. Go to Advanced and you can just look for Penny Dreadful. So whatever cards you want legal in Penny Dreadful. Presently there are just under 13,000 cards in this format. So it's like a really weird mix of Legacy and Pauper. So you have like lots of really strong cards that, you know, you have like your Ponder and Brainstorm, Delver of Secrets, Tendrils of Agonies here, but you have to like build a lot of these decks with really weird cards that you might not otherwise know about, you know. So yeah, you can see like just there's a lot of ridiculously interesting stuff. And the cool thing about this format, there's no ban list. Okay, the cards, yeah, they never get you can't ban, they don't ban cards in this. It goes completely against the idea of this format. What will happen is that every standard set, I believe it is, or yeah, every season that they go through this, yeah, so the week after a standard legal set is released on MTGO, they'll check it for a week, and then they'll update the cards that are legal based on what's worth 2 cents or less. So cards may rotate in and out of the format based upon, you know, what cards are being printed in standard or what new tech has been discovered for like other formats that season. So the format constantly changes, so you might have cards in your deck, like, you know, right now we have Master of the Pearl Trident. We might lose Master of the Pearl Trident. I do not need to know about this. Here we go. So we can see our Merfolk deck right here, and we have a lot of the modern Merfolk cards in this deck. Let's see, you know, Silvergill Adept, Master, Merrow Reejerey. We have our Deprive, Coralhelm Commander. So there's a fair bit of stuff for this, and we get a couple other cards that we might not normally get to play with, like Mishra's Factory and Waterfront Bouncer. This card turns basically every card in your hand into an unsummon if you need it to be. Very, very strong in this format, because we don't have like Lord of Atlantis here, and we don't have stuff like Phantasmal Imager. They cost a little bit too much. Maybe, I don't know, they might be a more than a little bit, but yeah, so the 2-drop slot is something we need to stuff for. Coralhelm, however, is very, very good in this deck. It's a 2-mana Lord that, you know, is really good in the end game by itself. You know, we have, you know, 12 Lords here: Reejerey, Merfolk Sovereign. So Merfolk Sovereign is probably like the defining card of this deck. We don't really have good island walk options, so we only have Master. But this can tap to make Merfolk. To make a Merfolk unblockable, and we can, you know, just play a bunch of Lords and then say, okay, I'm attacking you for like 5 damage with this unblockable creature, and just have the rest on defense backed up with counter spells and, you know, bounce spells. It can be very good. So yeah, this deck has like most of the stuff that Merfolk cares about. We don't get Mutavault, but we get Mishra's Factory, which is basically a non-Merfolk version of Mutavault. Yeah, I think this card has won me a fair bit of games. A combination of Cursecatcher and Mistcaller. There is like Reanimator stuff in this format. Reanimate and Animate Dead are both legal, and World Gouger Dragon. So having some number of like this kind of card is very, very helpful. It means we can actually trim on some graveyard hate in the sideboard because we have it in the main deck. And we also back it up with counterspells. You know, Deprive is, we play this in the modern deck sometimes, maybe even over Force of Negation in certain metagames. So the fact that we have access to like one of the only good 2-mana like pure counter spells in this format is very good. most of the counterspells are conditional ones. We don't have regular counterspell, but Deprive works for us. We're pretty low to the curve, a pretty low curve deck, yeah, and low to the ground, so we can usually afford to bounce an island for it. Otherwise, I decided that in this slot I wanted to put Brineborn Cutthroat, so that way if I'm passing the turn with like either Vapor Snag or Deprive up and the opponent doesn't do anything that I care about, I can always flash this in. And it has a little bit of synergy with like Snag and Deprive. Once you put it in play, you know, it makes it better to just start passing with the instant spells up, because this will get a little bit bigger. And then in certain control-y matchups where you need to hold up counter spells, or if you're up against combo, I think the value of this card increases a little bit. So I'm interested to try it. There's not a lot better at 2 mana that we can play here, and we don't have like a lot of other good 1-drops in here. We have like Merfolk Windrobber and Mistcloaked Herald, but really I want stuff that interacts at my 1 mana slot. Snag is also good interaction too. Obviously Aether Vial is out, but that's fine. So yeah, I think this is a pretty solid like deck overall. And the sideboard, Spell Pierce, Vapor Snag, another Deprive, Essence Scatter. There's a lot of creature-y decks in this that you can bring Essence Scatter in against. Rebuild is really important because Affinity is a very strong deck here, and the Affinity matchup is very much like the old school modern Merfolk versus Affinity, where it's like, we can win, but we need to have like Hurkyl's Recall. And in this format, Rebuild is your Hurkyl's Recall that you need to win the game. And the thing is, I don't think I've lost a single game against Affinity where I've resolved this card. This card, yeah, it's incredibly backbreaking against them. They don't have like Mox Opal in this format to like quickly rebuild their stuff. It takes them time. So if you just put like, you know, spend like the first 2 or 3 turns, put creatures in play and just try not to die, and then, you know, play Rebuild and start attacking for huge amounts of damage, you can probably overwhelm them before they can redeploy everything in time. Other than that, this Aegis Turtle is a really weird looking card here, but the thing, I gotta be honest, our matchup against red deck in this format is pretty bad, and I was just looking for like anything that we could find to help us here. There's not a lot of stuff for the Merfolk deck to play against the red deck. They just have like Firebolts and Chain Lightnings alongside a bunch of like 2-power red creatures, so it's tough to like stop them, but I picked the highest toughness 1-drop I could find here so that I have something to do on turn 1 and hopefully not die until I can get my other creatures and counterspells online. They're a quick deck. They, like I said, they can play like a creature and then a burn spell basically every turn until you're dead. So I'm just hoping that this is enough of a wall against them to buy me time. So it's a testing thing. So we're gonna see how that turns out. There is also Curious Obsession lists here. I actually have one over here. So this is like the mono blue tempo deck that I was screwing around with, and you can see like Delver is in here, and you have like all of the mono blue stuff. The Tempest is also very strong. Gitaxian Probe, Brainstorm. So the Brainstorm will help you flip Delver a lot. So the same thing with Ponder, you can flip Delver. There's no Preordain though, so unfortunately you have to live with just 2 of the big 3. But you get Gitaxian Probe, which is kind of nice. So you know a little bit what to play around. And you have Treasure Cruise. This card is like insanely powerful once you get to the stage of the game where you can cast it. So I think if you want to play Curious Obsession, you should probably play it in a list more like this. There have been people who try Curious Obsession in this, and I think, yeah, I don't know, I'm not convinced, you know, as a longtime Merfolk player myself, that Curious Obsession is the card that this deck wants. I mean, I'm willing to admit I might be wrong, but given the amount of games I've played with this so far, I'm reasonably sure that this is a pretty solid build and that this deck does not need Obsession. It does not have all the stuff in here to protect it. I think just having, you know, a more aggro tempo plan like this is stronger. We don't need to play stuff like Dive Down. Stuff like Spell Pierce and Deprive are just going to be better. And yeah, like our plan is to just go like overwhelm them with power and play with like Coralhelm, our 12 lords. So I think this is fine. We're gonna play this in the Saturday Penny Dreadful event. They have an event almost every day during the week, so we'll see how it goes. I think it's gonna be successful. I played on Thursday night and made their top 8 with this, but red deck crushed me, so it was kind of rough. But also, like, the first league that I played with Merfolk in this format, I went 10-0 with. So I think that Merfolk is a real deck. Like, I've had enough initial success with this that I'm pretty convinced that this will be good. So we're going to give this a go. And so what will happen is this, I believe this is going to be 4 rounds plus a top 8. So what will happen Monday through Thursday, we'll see our first 4 rounds. And then Friday, if we make the top 8, I will put all of the top 8 videos on Friday. And if we don't make the top 8 on Friday, well, I'll do something different. So you'll know by Thursday if we're gonna make it, probably. Yeah, it depends on the record. I think 3-1 usually does. Maybe a 2-2 might. We'll have to see. But yeah, anything from top 8 onwards will all be on Friday. So that's how we're gonna do this. So there might be like 3 videos in there, or maybe there will just be 1, and it might just be like historic or something, just if we don't make it for some reason. So all right, we'll see how this does, and I will be adding the round 1 video right after this. So I will see you in just a second. Okay, everybody, here we go. This is round 1. We are on the draw. So we'll see how this goes. So they are deciding whether to play. I assume you play, right? Yeah. I'm not actually very impressed with this hand. I think we mulligan this. This is really weak. This is a little bit better. I guess I keep bottom an island. Alright. Plains. What do we got? Militant. Okay, that's fine. I might just Vapor Snag that. So this is probably going to be white Weenie, which if it is, then we actually have a reasonable hand for this. Might wait to see what he plays first. Oh, I'm definitely bouncing that thing. Okay. I'll take 2. This will exile this, but it doesn't matter at all. Okay, so how do we go about this? Play this Silvergill. But the only thing is, if I play a Silvergill, it might price me into playing Coralhelm next turn. I guess that's okay. I'll reveal it. There's a chance if I draw a 3-drop, I might do something else. Or if I draw like another Vapor Snag, then that's better. Alright. I probably will trade with this. This Coralhelm should be good enough to stabilize the board by himself. Yeah, and if I can trade with this, that's fine. It takes away the power of that. Oh, that's actually good. So I can play Coralhelm this turn, level it up once, and next turn play 2 Masters. We can have potentially a bigger board than them. So yeah, this is like mono white aggro. That card's very good. So level 2, it becomes a 4/4 with first strike. That's very scary. True Believer, yeah. I'm not going to block, obviously. They have Shroud, that's okay. Might be correct to level this up here, because it gives it flying and then I can attack them. They're going to attack me for a lot. And their things are all going to be way bigger. If I level this up, I can actually hold this back and block here, potentially. Which I think is the right call. So, yeah, 3, as long as I don't play like another one of these lords, I should be okay. I don't think I'm the beatdown just yet. This is gonna be big. Like, they can attack with this pretty easily. Okay, that's fine. Yep. And here, I don't actually think they have any good attacks, so... Yep, as I anticipated. Well, hello, beautiful. Who is the Lord deck now? Let's see. I guess I can attack with this for 7, right? And they still don't have very good attacks. All this does... It will make this big, but I think we have them, like... We are much closer to killing them than they are to killing us, so... I could attack with this, but this only... They can double block it, and I don't really want to do that. I think we're much more likely to win by just drawing a Merfolk, and if they attack with anything, they are in trouble, I think. So all we have to do is just cast like one more fishy. And the Merrow Reejerey was a very, very good draw there. Well, okay, well, it's going to be close now. So let's see. It makes a 1/1. Could block it with 2 things. It's not unreasonable. And kill off 1 Lord. It's probably not the worst if that happens. Could also take 6, go to 9, but then they have another blocker. I think it's worth doing this. You can kill one of my lords, but this is going to make them another creature anyway, so I'm going to do that. This still kills them in 2 turns, so... Yeah, they just leveled this up, that makes sense. Insanely good draw. This will be a 4. I think I think this means we probably win. We just have to attack with this next turn, and then Vapor Snag means we don't die. So I can just snag back the Marshal. I don't even have to block anything, really. Field of Ruin's not going to do it. Alright. That is not going to do anything. That actually is not going to do it either. Because this will go to 5, but that's okay. Oh wait, I can just like win right now, right? I just bounce this thing and then this does nothing. Yeah, this does 3 damage. Like this is even better. They have no attacks, they're dead. They just lose to the flying. I am not gonna block that. Sure. Never did I not have it. There we go. We won our first game. So Vapor Snag's probably good here. I don't think Deprive is going to be very good. I don't want to bounce my own lands. That's not great. I could bring in 2 Essence Scatters. They're okay. But I mean, we're on the draw. They don't have a lot of non-creature spells I care about countering. I guess maybe Spell Pierce, because I could hit like their removal spells and also their anthems. The thing, like, the thing is, I don't want to be holding 2 mana up in their turn. I want to be very, very low to the ground here, so maybe Spell Pierce is okay. I don't know if the rest of these matter that much. The turtle is probably not necessary here. I mean, I think I'm winning most of these, like, on the basis of, like, Vapor Snag and, like, Waterfront Bouncer. Like, that's good enough to push through damage. guess I'll take the 2 Spell Pierces. Feel pretty good about this match. Oh, this hand is fantastic. We're absolutely going to keep this. We have 1 drop into Lord, so they are on the play, so we just F6. No Force of Will or in this format. That's a very good card to play in turn 1. Well, the good news is that we are going to curve up into our Lord, but this is going to hit us for 3 damage. Yeah, I don't think Mistcaller's effect is relevant in this match at all. If they attack with it for 1, then I would block it, but they will not, so. It's a 2/2. This is going to make a token, which is unfortunate, but I don't really have a way to deal with that. So I'm probably going to have to let both of these things hit me because they're like they can easily have both have first strike. Question is, if they put 2 mana into this, I think I want to just go on the counter offensive. I can't attack because this is first strike, but it means the turn afterwards I should be in a pretty good spot to play this, attack for 6, and have a 3/3 up to block this thing. Yeah. Yeah, I figured that would happen. There are no blocks. Why would you not level that up there? So what are you holding this mana up for? See, now I'm kind of rethinking this. Maybe this turn I can play Cursecatcher plus this Brineborn. Because I think I want to play the Cursecatcher, because if they left this mana up, they probably have a combat trick, and Cursecatcher will turn it off. Okay. I mean, it could have just been like a punt, but I can play Brineborn Cutthroat this turn as a 3/2. It could have been a bluff, I guess. That's possible. Okay, Avenger's fine. I can still beat that. Interesting. So I can double block this and trade like one of these creatures with this thing. I guess that's worth it. It keeps them from getting another token, so I'm fine to trade a 2-drop with a 2-drop. No, they do have something, okay. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter then, because he's just going to kill off my Brineborn for free. So it basically just, like, you know, used a removal spell on this thing. That's fine. Alright, what do we got here? We gotta be careful, we're getting close to the point where they can just swarm us. It's a 3/3 with Flying Vigilance. I guess I attack with these two. I have to put some pressure on them. Alright, so if I don't die this turn, then there's a good chance I can win this. Okay, that definitely is promising. I don't think their attacks are super good. They have 4 blockers. I don't really want to trade 2 wards with this thing. Alright, I'm gonna take it. It did nothing here. Okay, that is fantastic. So what does this mean? So I can attack. It puts them to 1, and then Vapor Snag kills them if they don't block it. I mean, I guess I'm sure. Okay, I'm attacking for 6. I mean, it should still be okay. This Vapor Snag is still very promising towards victory. I didn't play the island. I don't want to give away my secrets. So I attack with these two. Which one is more devastating to bounce? Probably. Does it matter? I do have to block something, or I have to do something here. I guess I do this. And hope, okay, so that's fine, so I'm not dead. But alright, so I have to do something now because now the Sarah Avenger gets replayed, so. The flare was good. That was definitely strong. Maybe there's an argument I should have gambled with by attacking with the Lords too. That could have been a mistake. Okay. But I need... Okay, that's really suspect. Okay, but I'm not actually dead here, right? These are only 2 power. So I can attack them for 3 with this. They didn't... okay. Let me see. They could have another Celestial Flare. Let's see, if they have another flare, I have to attack. I guess, okay, so how do I play around them having Celestial Flare? If I attack with Master and Mistcaller, they flare me, I get rid of a Mistcaller. They could trade these 2 creatures with this, and then I have to throw this one in front of that. I don't like that. What happens if I don't attack? Right, this is also blocking too, so I just don't know if there's a way I can win if I don't attack here, because I don't have anything. Let's see, if I don't attack, I mean, these all attack me. I'd have to like chump block this thing and like block. I think they're just gonna attack with this though, and then replay it, and I'm in the same position except worse next turn. They can just play like a land in Sarah Avenger, or they can just start leveling this thing up more. I don't know. This definitely this has to signal another flare. All right. So I guess I have to not attack. I just don't think I can. Let me draw a card, that's fine. If I had like a counter spell, then I might feel a little bit better about going for it there. Or even like another creature to play. I just don't like the idea that I'm going to be... if I do what I'm thinking about doing, I'll lose a Lord. Alright, that is a problem. They're not going to attack here. Okay, so how can I win this? Coralhelm or Vapor Snag? That is not going to do it. Alright, we lose. Because the Sarah Avenger just kills us. Oh, it's close. Okay. So you know what? Maybe instead of Spell Pierce here, I will bring in the Essence Scatter. I don't think the Mistcaller is that good. Oh, nope. I have to submit an actual deck. 60 cards. They were so strongly representing having something. I don't. Maybe the turn before I was supposed to attack with more creatures. I don't know. I'd have to. It's difficult. We just kind of flooded out at the end and just did not have enough to push for the win. But on the play here, I'm hoping that this will be fine. This looks good. We'll keep this for sure. Go Silvergill into Sovereign, and then maybe like Silvergill plus Commander the turn after. That's reasonable. He mulled to 6, that's good. You can see I'm playing with my nice well islands. I love these things. They're so sparkly. We'll see. Maybe if we draw something we might change our sequence here, but I feel like I have a pretty good game. So what do you got? Dryad Militant. Okay. That's a perfectly fine card. Island's okay. That means we can curve up. Alright. It's fine, I guess. I guess I just want to trade creatures. They're on a mulligan, and I'm advantaged with cards right now, so I should just try to make exchanges wherever I can. Sovereign is kind of annoying, but I don't think we're in any imminent danger right now. That's not bad. And that's very, very good paired with this Vapor Snag. I'm not going to attack. If they attack me, we are hitting them back for a lot more with the Sovereign. Yeah, this is fine because I can always snag and then scatter this thing if I need to. I guess we just make this Silvergill unblockable. I think it's reasonable to level up the Coralhelm right now. Because next turn this means we could draw a land next turn, but I think I'm going to go for this. Alright. This just is a way more aggressive start than them, so like this one Vapor Snag might just be enough to totally destroy them. Yeah, I'm willing to take 3 damage off of this. They have 3 cards in hand. That's fine. I'm assuming they have something like Brave the... Oh. Okay. This has got to be ridiculously winning. The worst thing that happens is I have to sack Cursecatcher. Okay. But, like, we are killing them next turn, for sure. There is nothing that they can really do here. You can't attack me. I have a 6/6 flyer. And even if you could, this Vapor Snag is still very strong too. And you have to know it's over. Step. Bouncy, bouncy. We win. Alright, good games, opponent. So there we go. That's round one. We got the victory 2-1. So let's go forward. This should be 4 rounds plus a top 8, I believe, is how this is going to work out. So, yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.